Hello everyone and welcome to another In Review. This time, as promised, I'm looking at Hustlers starring Jennifer Lopez, Constance Wu, Lili Reinhart, Keke Palmer, Cardi B, Lizzo, Julia Stiles, a huge cast, a very talented cast, and they do a really good job in this film. As I start to look at the film itself, there was a lot of buzz going into it, because of it being shown at festivals and hearing good stuff about that. And I didn't see it before the film, but I know a lot of people were thinking, now looking at Jennifer Lopez's potential for getting an Oscar nom. So I'm going to look at that to start with, and the performances are really the strong part of this film, and any enjoyment of this film I think will come from the great performances from particularly Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez, who are definitely the two strongest, and they're the two leads, so it kind of makes sense. It follows Constance Wu's character, goes by the name of Destiny, and it's really about the friendship between these two, her and Jennifer Lopez's character, and you see how that progresses in the journey that they go on together as they are performing while the housing crisis in America goes on, and so how that kind of affected them, and that part of the story was really kind of interesting to me going into the film. I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a heist, and seeing these characters build like a team and how they were gonna scam all these Wall Street guys and get some of their money. And it obviously being based on a true story as well. I didn't know anything about that going into the film. As I said, the strongest parts of this film are the performances. I think I don't know if Jennifer Lopez will get an Oscar nom for it. I don't necessarily see that happening, but it obviously depends on other films that are yet to come out. That being that there's a lot of those, so we'll see over the coming months. I definitely think it's arguably her strongest performance that we've ever seen from her, and so I give her a lot of credit for that. And where the film falls down for me was the writing, I think, and maybe a little bit into the direction as well. I felt at times the dialogue didn't work for me, and it felt like a bit 2D. It didn't feel real. It felt like someone writing a script, and they're trying to do a Hollywoody sort of version of the story, and I think that's what didn't particularly work for me. I also felt, and I know other people disagree with it, but with the way that I perceived it, but I felt like Jennifer Lopez's character just suddenly turns at a point in the film, and I didn't feel like that was necessarily realistic of what we'd seen before from that character. There's definitely an argument to be made there, and I could probably be persuaded on that. But I think it just, I don't know, I felt like I was missing something. Maybe it's because I had different sort of expectations on the film, and maybe a second watch would do me favours for the film. I also felt that perhaps they could have expanded more on because the story kind of has two sides to it. You see Julia Stiles' character and Constance Wu doing an interview, and they have a flashback to what happened, and the main story, and seeing that. And I liked that, and I felt like they could have perhaps had more scenes of that from the future sort of side of it. The performance is a strong part. I'd actually rather see Constance Wu get nominated over Jennifer Lopez. So I think Constance Wu is such a star that we saw her last year in Crazy Rich Asians, and I think she's got a big future. The same as Henry Golding's now gone on to being eyed to do some big projects. Obviously, I think it'll be the same for Constance Wu, and I'm excited to see what her future holds. And she's obviously got great talent, as do most of the rest of the cast, and as stated, that's where the strengths lie. And it feels like it feels gritty, it feels kind of real at times, but then also at other times it felt a little bit too Hollywoody in specific moments, and maybe that's just the nature of getting the story down within 2 hours or so. As I look at the score now, I don't know, I find it really difficult to do that, because I didn't have a bad time and didn't have a good time, so that kind of leads me down the middle. I think it's definitely worth a rewatch, so I might do that and then my score might change. But at the moment, I'm going to give it 5 out of 10, so it'll be 2.5 out of 5 stars. But be sure to let me know what your thoughts on Hustlers were. Definitely let me know down in the comments, and I feel like I can be persuaded on this film. I'm definitely going to try and give it a rewatch. Probably not while it's in the cinema, but once it gets a home release. But let me know what you thought. Let me know if you think Jennifer Lopez will get any noms for this. And you find us on Insider Network. Subscribe on here if you're listening to us on YouTube. For other reviews, we had our weekly show yesterday that came out, in case you missed it, for last week's film news and trailers and box office, talking about the Suicide Squad cast announcement and loads of other stuff, so go and check that out. Go and check out our In 10 strip scenes that Lewis did. See what other strip scenes they filmed, if you like that sort of side of it from Hustlers. Go and follow us on Insider Network _ on Twitter, Insider Network on Instagram. Find us on Facebook. Find me at Flyco28 on Twitter. And I'll catch you for the next review. Goodbye.